feeling like we've got any money, it's like, how am I going to pay my rent, my mortgage, how am I going to feed myself? All these sorts of fears can start coming up. So the base chakra is the most earthy chakra energy of the chakra system. And it's related, I always think back to hunter-gatherer time. So it's very tribal, it's like, it is that fight or flight kind of mechanism, because those, back in those times they had to go out and hunt for their food. So they, they always had their instincts on alert to know what was around them, were they in danger, what was sort of going on. The hunter-gatherers also lived in tribes, and we still live in tribes to some degree today, but back then it was very community-based. And so the base chakra is a very community-based type of chakra energy to it. So it's how you relate to your family, how you relate to your community, and if you don't relate to them, finding the right families and the right communities to be a part of as well. So it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be a part of it, but it's just finding the people that are going to support you. I've made a little list here as well. The colour of it is red. So you can do things like wear red, you can eat red foods. If you're feeling like your base chakra is out, red is definitely the colour for that. I've said most of the things.
If you have anxiety issues, like generalized anxiety disorders, you've got to heal your base chakra?
Yes, yes. So your base chakra is all about fear, overwhelm and anxiety, and fear. Yeah, fear, I already said that. When you feel those, that's when your base chakra it's being activated in the wrong way, basically. It's being activated in that fight or flight. And the opposite of that is feeling energized, motivated, and vital. So when you feel energized and you're excited, but you're feeling that sense of calm, that's when the base chakra is activated at the right type of energy. If it's coming from that place of fight or flight and adrenal type energy, then it's not in the right place. And that's basically what's happening in the world today. At the start, when I was talking about stress and anxiety, a lot of us are operating from this fight or flight energy rather than from this more calm, collected, energized and motivated and excited, but from a more rounded type of energy. Yeah.
When you say activated correctly, can I use the concept of Chinese yin and yang? The yin and yang, positive and negative, because it's either you're too positive or you're too negative. So the balance is in the center.
Yes.
So normally when we find we are all balanced, we have to center it. How do we use this system?
Yes. I will be talking about that later as we go through. There's a lot to it, and this is basically what I'm doing now is bringing to your awareness what the base chakra is about. And to do, basically what you want to do with the chakra system is learn that about each of those chakra energies, because it covers the whole spectrum. It covers the whole spectrum of emotions. It covers the whole spectrum of your body, and all different areas of your life too. So each one, it's important to learn all these sort of awareness skills, so then you know when it's off balance as well. Yeah.
When you talk about base chakra, I can relate to Maslow hierarchy needs, the basic needs, the safety.
Yes, basic needs, safety, so looking after yourself basically. And it's looking after yourself and your community, but then looking after yourself. Yeah, there's two shades to it as well. Anybody else have any other questions about the base chakra or anything to add to that? No? So when we're looking at your chin, we're looking at how it fits into all of this, basically, through the shape of your chin. So, there's different shapes. We can have a more square type chin, or we can have more of a rounded type chin. What I would like you to do right now is we're going to have a look and see how rounded or how square your chin is. So, what I want you to do first is put your hands under your chin like this. So pretend that the hands underneath your chin is a table, and then your chin is balancing on that tabletop. You're then going to know how far you're going to swing, right? Based on if your chin is square or if it's rounded. So now what I want you to do is I want you to look to the person next to you and share with each other if you've got more of a square chin or more of a rounded chin. Yeah, you're going to be able to. And you also got the tickling. So you've got.
Yours is definitely sharp. Mine is sharp. 伤了你，我嘞？你是灰了，你是。你有点像有点什么？他也是。回墨。他有点像。干嘛？人看的，就是咯，人看。那我看这里，看这里，哎，看这里，看这里下，你看他看这里下，啊，他是看你进，所以我这里是你的好像是 round 了，4号了，哎，你的3号了，哎，你4号，你3号。You 3 you 4
How's everybody going?
Cannot identify.
Okay, so yeah, what's the meaning of all this? I don't understand. Is everybody clear if they're more square or if they're more pointy?
So I do
Which one's best? I love that question.
哎呀，你2号了。
Yeah.
我几号？你1号，你1号啊？1号
Okay, so now
或
let's
4号？
work out, let's
应该
learn
是4
about
号
what it means. I was just asked the question, which one is best? And that question's awesome because there is no such thing.
没有4号，他4号。
When it comes to face reading, there's no right or wrong. There's no, it's better than or less than. What it is it is. Yeah. And it's just learning that that's part of who you are and to work with it, basically. Yeah. Okay, so if we have a pointed chin, it means that we have a higher level of sensitivity. So it means if you're got your chin on the table, it means you're going to sway when the world events come at you. So when something comes at someone with a more sensitive chin, they're going to probably respond to that in a more sensitive kind of way. They may need a little bit more support network around them, more of a community or a team around them. Whereas someone who's got a very square chin, like I always think of construction workers and those sorts of guys, where they're really like, they're very square. So when something comes at them, when something happens, they're very practical. They kind of just like, well, it just is what it is. Like, let's get on with it, And then the sensitive person's like, oh, but like, this thing happened. It's like, no, we just got to get on with it. So it's like learning what your tendencies tend to be. Again, one's not right or wrong because the person that's very practical may need to become a little bit more sensitive and become a little bit more in tune with their emotions. And the person that's very emotional may need to learn how to manage those emotions a bit more and know how to take action when those things happen too. So from learning this about yourself, you can really understand, do I need support in a particular area? When's the times when I feel like I am too emotional or when I need to be a little bit more emotional, and just making sure that you're getting that balance right for yourself, when things happen in the world. Did anyone see anything strange, weird, crazy they want to ask about chins through that process?
But I heard about the Chinese face reading.
Yeah.
Your face is more square, you tend to be more wealthy.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Psychosomatics is different to Chinese face reading. I don't know that much.
Compared to those who are sharp.
Oh.
The ladies like to have a very sharp
Really?
face. But that doesn't mean that they
No.
are.
In my book, Chinese face reading is different because I use a lot of different points. I'm not familiar with that at all. But I think everybody has the opportunity to be wealthy. It's about learning your personality and making it work for you. That's what my true belief is. Yeah.
So, I think that the jawline, basically chin is defined by the jawline.
Yeah.
Jawline, cheekbones, forehead, nose, these features are genetic. Like, you know, the nose of someone who comes from Greece or from that race, basically Aryans, Indo-European people, will have always a nose like me, like, you know, coming out from here.
Yeah, yeah.
And someone who is Asian, like maybe Chinese or Japanese, or you know, they will always have a flatter side of the nose, which is, I mean, and they will have small eyes, and you know, so I mean, it's not possible that the whole nation can be, you know, just you know, categorized in one category.
It isn't. Did you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you can still apply perhaps the cultural, hereditary differences. So everyone from the same race are not going to look exactly the same.
No, not
so
exactly.
they're going to have a bit more prominent nose compared to a different cultural background. But I think you can still apply some of those. So for that culture, you have a more prominent nose or less line.
Yes.
Do that.
Yeah. So for the people in the back of the room, we were just talking about how, you know, in different cultures have different sort of tendencies for those facial features. So I've had I get asked this question a lot all the time, particularly around this nose that you're talking about, this bridge of the nose here. So when someone's got a high bridge of the nose, it means that as the energy of the world's coming at them, they can kind of filter that a little bit and take action through that. So they still feel it around their heart area, but they've got some time to sort of make their decision on how to act on it. Those people who have a very low bridge here, it means they're very sensitive, so they feel that energy straight away. It doesn't mean that they can't take action, but they're more of a sensitive being. And I've thought about this a lot. I mean, I live in Bali as well, and you know, most of the people have a very low bridge of the nose here too. You know, Chinese people have very low bridge of the nose too. Very sensitive people. But it depends on the culture of how that's built. Like, I've seen lots of sensitive people and they're living in a culture that's very structured, so they're not allowed to express themselves, so that sensitivity becomes numbed and they're not actually allowed to feel it to some degree. And so that's when we need to look at the culture of, like, what environment are they living in that is allowing them to be who they are. In Bali, for example, they're very, I'm in Ubud, and they have ceremonies like every third, second day. It's a big part of their culture, and I feel like that's embracing that side of themselves. So, again, there's no right or wrong around it, but there's definitely tendencies, yes. With the nose, like the Roman nose, that's a very leadership type nose as well, so when it does have that bump there. And you don't see that a lot in some cultures, but it doesn't mean that they can't be a leader, but maybe it will be a different journey compared to someone that does have it. Yeah. Any other questions about chin? Any other area of the face, really, before we move on? Cool, okay. So, another thing to notice here too of this slide, so this chin is moving forward, so it's come forward, and then sometimes you can see a chin that's actually receding. The chins that are moving forward, they've got a good drive. Like, as soon as they know what they want to do, they're the action takers. It's like, I'm just going to take action. If it's receding, those people it's harder for them to take action. So they're going to need probably more of a support team to say, okay, come on, let's go and do this. Or you might want those people to actually do something for them instead of them taking action themselves. Does that make sense? So learning these things about yourself can be really important, particularly when you're in business, because if your chin, say, is receding, you might have the vision, you want things done, but you're not physically able to do it. You're going to have to want people on your team who can help you to make those things happen, basically. Your zone of genius. So the next thing we're going to talk about when it comes to your face is your zone of genius. And this usually, for me, is your most prominent feature. So when I do a face reading for someone, I can read all sorts of things throughout their face. But there's always one or two things that are really striking about that person's face. So something that captures your attention, the first thing that you look at. So again, what I want you to do is I want you to look to the person next to you and have a look at their face. And what's the most what's the feature that stands out the most for you when you look at it?
What? You know, brown.
I would say leadership. Yeah, I would say Okay, so you've all been looking at each other's faces there. So depending on what feature of the face stood out the most, can be an indicator of what to really look at within your personality traits in relation to your business. So, you know, if you're, some people might have that chin that's really coming forward like Superman, like you've got one there, right? So it's like there's a drive. That could be the thing that's, you know, I did a face reading for someone the other day, and literally it's like coming forward. It's like, okay, like just hold on. So it was like that was a big part of who she was, and she is. She's a go-getter. If your lips and your mouth are the most prominent feature on your face, it's like your creativity, your sensuality, your communication. So if you're in business for yourself, it could be communicating will be a big part of your business. I've got a really large mouth. I love talking. It's a big part of my business. I want to talk in my business. So it's utilizing your strengths in that area. If your nose is most prominent, that's leadership. So, you know, personal identity, how you step forward in the world, really embracing that part of yourself. It doesn't mean don't embrace any other parts of yourself, but this is about like what's that number one thing that's sort of prominent on your face. If your eyes are most prominent, it's your heart chakra. So living with compassion, you know, living through compassion and being the compassion that you see. Maybe that's part of like what your personal essence is and what you're here to do. Eyebrows, your throat chakra, again all about communicating, if that's like, you know, the most prominent part of your face. Really interesting, at the moment there's this fad for women to have really big, strong eyebrows. Isn't it interesting that a lot of women are really starting to voice their opinions about things? Whereas say 20 years ago it was all about having very thin line eyebrows. You know, how your features on your face change how you're expressing yourself and how you're communicating.
I think last time or olden days, our mother they cut their eyebrows.
They cut it off? Oh, trim the eyebrows. So this is to just give you a bit of a taster into what face reading is all about and how much you can learn about yourself from a face reading, and then learn how to bring those aspects of yourself and really focus on it for your business. Instead of sitting behind your computer and just trying to get it done online, like, are you really utilizing who you are to get your business going as well? We can forget about that. We look more to the strategies and the structure rather than the person who we are and who we need to step out to be. So I think it is now time for another 2 minutes with Lisa.
Whenever I come to Singapore, I end up freezing.
Freezing. Chakra.
I just need to do some exercise.
Freezing. Purposely what? Chakra.
Before I get into the next exercise, Melanie did a face reading on me a few years ago, maybe about a year ago, and it was so funny because it was so true, but I never thought of it this way. One part of my face kind of wanted to conquer the world and, you know, go out and achieve so much, and another part of my face just wanted to go and live in a tree and just hide away from the world. So I have this constant battle between, yes, here I am, and then, oh no, just let me be in a tree somewhere. So it's quite interesting what it actually reveals. Anyway, one thing we've been focusing on now is the base chakra. So I thought what we could do to just align with that in this next little meditation exercise that we'll do is to focus in on the base chakra. So when you're ready, have your backs nice and straight. It's kind of what you're wanting to achieve in a meditation with your back is not rigid, but you want it kind of dignified. So that's the feeling. We want a nice straight back that's dignified. If we're slouching, we tend to fall asleep. So just close your eyes and go back into that deep breathing, taking that breath way down into the belly and really feeling that tummy expand. If we're just breathing into the chest, we're doing shallow breathing, which isn't great for our stress levels and our adrenals. So way down into the belly. And then I'm going to ask you to visualize your base chakra, which is around your perineum area. And imagine a round disc or the size of an orange. Just start seeing that fill up with red light. So you're drawing in red light as you're breathing slowly and deeply. Just feel it filling up and it's moving. It's just rotating slightly, just gently. And continue just to draw that red light into that base chakra. Continue the deep breathing. And as it fills and energizes, see if you can feel that red light or visualize that red light moving throughout your whole body. And then you might want to visualize a tree root or a silver thread or something that comes to mind for you, gold thread even, coming out of that base chakra, of that beautiful red energy. Going right down into the center of the earth. So it's really connecting you to that grounding, supportive, safe energy. And then you're going to draw up that beautiful energy from the earth. You're going to draw that up into the base chakra. Continue to breathe slowly and deeply. Again, once it's in that beautiful base chakra, filling up with that red light, see if you can take that right through the body as well. To your legs, your feet, your knees, hips and torso, arms, neck and head. Beautiful, energized, grounding energy. Anytime you feel that you need to, if you're feeling unsupported or stressed or anxious, you can always do this exercise. On your inhalation, again, take that right down into that base chakra. So you're constantly energizing it with that beautiful red light. Slowly and gently open your eyes.
let's energize that base chakra a little bit for the last little piece of this presentation tonight. So I just want you to, you don't have to get up, you can get up if you want, but I just want you to walk your feet on the ground, because what that's doing is working your legs, and your legs are actually related to your base chakra. So feel your feet on the ground, feel that movement. So we've talked about the base, we've talked about the base chakra, now we're going to talk about how this relates to your business. So we're going to, in this little section, this last section, we're going to talk about the emotional intelligence around your business-based chakra. We're going to talk about the physical signs that can show up, the business red flags that can show up, and then we're going to do a little activity of how you can start activating that base chakra in your business. So then it's feeling vital, energized, and motivated, and moving in the right direction. Yeah, I've been doing this for about 6 years now. I finished my first training as a psychosomatic therapist 6 years ago. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 4, and in terms of in the online space. And the 3 things that I consistently hear are people feeling lack of confidence, they have procrastination issues, and usually it's connected to fear of being seen, and also cash flow issues in their business as well. So we're going to be talking about this a bit in this last section here. So when we talk about flow and blocked, because we hear that a lot as well. Sorry, hold on a second. My throat shut. We hear a lot of the time people saying, are we in flow or are things being blocked? When we're in flow, when it comes to the chakra system, it means that your chakra energies are in alignment in terms of they're all sitting on top of one another, they're all activated at the right vibration, and they're all working together. When we say it's blocked, it means that, generally speaking, your base chakra is going to be shaky. And what that means is if your base chakra is shaky, everything above that is going to be shaky as well. So sometimes when you may feel like your throat chakra is out of whack because you can't speak your truth, you may actually need to go down to your base chakra first to really stabilize that, to allow you to then do the work for the chakras above that. So the base chakra is always the first place that I come to when it comes to moving through hurdles and those sorts of things. In your business, the emotions that will come up when your base chakra is feeling shaky are fear, anxiety, and overwhelm. So as soon as you start feeling any fear or any anxiety or any overwhelm, it's time to look at the base chakra of your business. Now, sometimes we don't even realize that's where we're operating from. So this is where the emotional intelligence comes into play, and it's really tuning into what's the emotion am I feeling right now, and how am I sort of acting in the world. A lot of us are running on this flight or fight and fear-based energy a lot of the time, and that's where we're making our decisions from. And in my experience over the last many number of years, whenever I make a decision based on fear, it comes back to bite me tenfold. Like, it never works out. And so if you can start really tuning into that, am I making this decision from a place of fear rather than a place of calm and stability within myself and knowing that's the right thing, there's a huge difference in the energy of that and what will be a replication from that point. What you want to be feeling is energized, vital, and motivated. So you want to know what's happening. The base chakra loves organization. It's like the only chakra, I will say that, of all the chakra energies where it loves administration and organization. Actually, I'll get back to that in a minute. Hold on, skip forward. But it does. It really likes to know, it likes planning, it likes to know what's going to happen. We can't predict what's going to happen in the future all the time. In fact, nothing is for certain, but the more that you can feel certain that you've got the right number of clients coming in, or you've got the right income to pay your staff and all those sorts of things happening, the more vital your base chakra is going to be feeling. If we're hanging out in fear, down here, or anger, or any of those sort of overwhelm, anxiety feelings, we're going to actually be playing in a space of suffering and getting by. When we're in a state of flow, this is where we're feeling that love, we're feeling that joy, we're feeling excited, we're really connected to what it is that we're doing. So I always found this graph to be really helpful when I started doing this work, and it does come from David Hawkins, who's written the book Power versus Force. I highly recommend reading that, where he talks about, you know, the different vibrations that our emotions have and the state of being that actually keeps us in. So, you know, if we're feeling fear, we're going to be suffering, basically. And, you know, we don't want to be suffering. We want to be feeling like we're in this state of flow. So emotional intelligence for me through the chakra system is understanding all those specific emotions that you're feeling, and then knowing where it is on this chart to help you know how to shift it to the polar opposite emotion. So for the base chakra, it's about, did you actually know this too, that the body physiologically doesn't know the difference between fear and excitement. So you could be feeling fear and the body will feel a particular way, and you can be feeling excitement and the body will feel that exact same thing. So from a mental point of view, and I've done this a few times now that I've learned this, if you're feeling fear, shift it to excitement. It might be fear of, oh, I don't know what's going to happen right now. But it could be like, I don't know what's going to happen right now. What's that new opportunity that could happen if I have that conversation that I think is difficult, but something might actually good come from that. So swapping your perception of fear to excitement can be a really good tool, especially as an entrepreneur and in business. Because you're going to have to be stepping out of your comfort zone quite often, you know, to make a difference and to make progress. Okay, so the physical signs. The body, the mind, the emotions are all related. Physical signs of the base chakra, lower back pain, grinding your teeth, anything happening around your jaw, your legs, your calves, your feet, and anything happening around your kidneys and adrenals. As soon as I already know I am cold, but I'm like, I can feel like, actually I think it is more because it's cold, but you know, if I know I'm sleeping and I've started grinding my teeth in my sleep because I'm worrying about something, it's like my base chakra is out. As soon as I get lower back pain, it's always about money and it's never about my back. Because as soon as the money problem disappears, guess what? The back problem disappears. So just start watching this for yourself. Like, pay attention to your body. It's bringing your attention to something. Once you start shifting the emotional aspect, plus making the decisions that are going to help with that, and then see what plays out physically from that space as well. Each chakra energy has a different place in the body. So the base chakra, though, is around your legs, because your legs take you from A to B. It's the thing that actually gets you moving. It's also your feet and your jaw area up here. The red flags in your business, that means your base chakra is out. Cash flow, ideal customer, and goals and planning. So if you're feeling fear, anxiety, or overwhelm, or your back's hurting, or something's going on with your knees, or you're grinding your teeth, have a look at how you're feeling about your cash flow, how you're feeling about who you actually know your ideal customer is, and do you have a good set of goals and plans? Because usually there's something going on in here that's causing that symptom or effect to happen, you know. So then you know where to come and take the action instead of just feeling overwhelmed and going, I don't know where to start. This is where you actually start. There is another little section too. If you become more of a company, your team will also fall under this as well. So have you got the right team supporting you for what it is that you need to do next in your business as well? I've tried and tested this so many times and it works. It just works. And it may be even you might have it all sorted, but you just needed to revisit it to feel that sense of stability within yourself to know this is the next step that I need to take. You've just forgotten some of the detail that you already had worked out. Yeah, so once you do that, then you'll be getting more of a flow state rather than a block state. This little diagram here, a lot of the time I find in business, people jump to promotion and communication before they've actually looked at the first 3 chakras of their business, being the base chakra, which is all about your foundations and support, your sacral chakra, which is around branding and creativity, and your solar plexus, which is your product and your service. So for me, for you to really be in a good state to start promoting and communicating about your business, you need to have strong foundations, a clear brand, and also very clear products and service. At the beginning, that can be difficult, and that's what makes it difficult as a startup, because you're testing and trialing and you're trying to work it out, and it's all very messy. But as you keep doing the process and coming back to it and revisiting it, it gets stronger and stronger, and then that's where it really starts to grow. Right, so now that you know this, this is my Wonder Woman and Superman because I really think the base chakra is where it all is at, you know, particularly in business. Like, you can't come in at any other level. Like, your base chakra needs to be solid for the rest of it to really flow. So I'm going to just take you through a very quick, because I know we're getting close to, what are we on? We're 9 o'clock now. I'm just going to take you through a very quick activity that you can do to see if you're in the fight or flight mode, or if you're working from a really good, energized and vital chakra energy, base chakra energy. Have you guys read this book? Yes. Okay, great. I love it. Read it time and time again to learn from it. So we're going to focus on goals and planning for this little activity. In the book, he talks about this quadrant of putting in your to-do list and where you're taking your action from. So how to prioritize what it is that you have to do. And a lot of the time, what you'll have will either go into important and urgent, or important or not urgent, and if anything's in these bottom 2 quadrants, we generally don't really worry about it. What I want you to do now is I want you to think about what you've got going on at the moment in your business, and what feels important and urgent, and what feels important and not urgent. And if you've got a pen and paper, just write that down. But if you don't, like, just think in your head, is there one of these quadrants that's more than the other?
I've got a lot of things which are important but not urgent. There is nothing which is important and urgent. No, there is nothing. There is nothing not important and urgent. Basically, there is nothing urgent as such. Things are just important.
Yeah. That's great. You'll see when I do next. Because that's not always true for everybody. I know I've definitely played in this important and urgent quadrant before in my life as well. Yeah. So just thinking about what in your business right now feels important and urgent, or important and not urgent. I'll just give you another 2 minutes. Or not 2 minutes. Okay. So, if you have your items in important and not urgent, it means that you have a really nice base chakra energy to your business. It means you're planning ahead. It means you're forward thinking. It means you're planting seeds, knowing that there's patience and time that needs to take place for everything to grow. If you've got more things in the important and urgent quadrant, it means you're operating from a fight or flight energy. It means that you're in this like, urgency, urgency, I've got to get things going. It means that you may be making decisions in your business that aren't going to serve you in the long run, that are made from fear, that will come back and bite you in the bum, basically. It's coming from the wrong place. And so as soon as you can become aware of which one it's swinging to, you can pay attention to the things that possibly are more important but not feeling urgent, because you know in the long term that's going to pay off rather than the short term. A lot of startups can find that they fall into that short-term fix initially. And of course we need some short-term things that need to happen, but making sure that you're paying as much attention to the long-term foundations that you need to lay as well is really, really important. And when you get to the point where it is just important and not urgent, that's really where you want to be. Yeah. So this is a really good practical example of how you can just see what energy you're coming from in your business, because it is really important that it is a nice, calm, solid, firm foundation energy rather than the flighty, all over the place kind of scattered energy. Any questions around this? I see a lot of nodding heads, which is good. It's very good. Lisa, I might just leave this. Can I do the next bit and maybe we can finish off with yours?
Yeah, I'll just send it.
Oh, okay. Good, yeah.
Alright, I'm just going to condense this down. But Melanie's already talked about a couple of things we can do for our base chakra. In terms of energising it, we looked at the meditation side of things as well, but there were the red foods and a few other things. But I was at a silent meditation and yoga retreat for the last 4 days just before I came to Singapore. And one of the instructors showed us a great yoga pose. Do any of you do yoga? That is brilliant, yeah, that's brilliant for energising your base chakra. So I thought I'd just quickly share that right now. We're going to do a lot of stuff on the weekend where we go into all of this in a lot more detail. But I just thought, if you can see me, because I have to get down on the floor. I'm just going to show you quickly.
You're on top of the cake.
Only after a few days.
No, I'm going to do this. You can stand up here. It's very simple. Really, really simple. But I'm going to get down. So you know where your base chakra is, yeah? Where it is? This. Just that, for as long as you can hold it. While you're doing it. You know, only if you can. You don't have to. So it's up to your level. So even if you can't touch your toes, you can get a rope or something to hold on to, even if you're sitting up here. So it's actually not how far you can get down. Yeah, right. That's fine. Yeah. So that's fine. It's just about holding it as long as you can. And when you're doing that, you're putting the energy to that. You're thinking about your base chakra. So really, really focusing on the base chakra while you're doing that. And that really helps with it. So that's just let's share that as well from that topic. But yeah.
I'd like to add something to it.
Yeah.
Stretch from your lower back. Don't stretch
Yes.
from your shoulders and neck. Don't do this.
Yeah, so you almost want to come into this nice posture first and then move forward. And as you're doing this, kind of stretching that back like you said, the lower back.
Yeah, because mostly people do this, they stretch their neck and they stretch their, upper body.
Yeah.
But it's basically about being like this. Your lower back should go forward.
Absolutely, yeah. But that really helps strengthen that base chakra as well.
Base.
It's a really good one for the base chakra. I'll have to share that.
Awesome.
Go back to the last slide.
The last slide, yeah. Alright, so now we're into the finale. I had a special face split image that I want to share with you, and this is really important actually, which is also can be a red flag about how your energy is flowing and whether you're operating from the urban brain, which is the shutdown, non-emotional state of being, or you're running from your human brain, which is the in-touch and emotional intelligent self. Okay, so this is a face split photo, and we'll be doing these on the weekend as well. This is me back in 2012 when I did my first psychosomatic therapy training. The middle photo is the original, and what we do is we actually split the photo down the middle, and then we take the right hand side and flip it to make a whole right face, and then take the left to make a whole left face. And what this is, the whole right hand side of your body is your masculine energy, and the whole left hand side of your body is your feminine energy, which is a bit like yin and yang, what we were talking about before. And this was the thing that woke me up to what was going on in my life, and how much I had lost touch with who I was and what I was here to do. So, for those of you that aren't familiar, we all have feminine and masculine energy inside of us. The masculine traits are logic, taking action, structure, and giving. We need those. We have to. The feminine aspects of ourselves is creativity, emotions, flexibility, and receiving. We need those as well, but a lot of the time there's an imbalance that's actually happening there. And the face split actually shows you what that balance is and how balanced it is or how imbalanced it is. So I've cut out my original photo, and this is my feminine and my masculine. So I want you to share with me. I always look at the feminine and masculine energy inside of ourselves as a relationship.